Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge. We are back today with a quick update video here with respect to the negative zone event, which has been live now for the last couple of days. So I'm just about to finish my last run here, but I wanted to make a quick snapshot overview for which teams actually worked. It goes without saying, remember, this is a nod to the Chapter 1 activities that Negative Zone obviously promoted at the time when it first initially released with Harbinger. So having said that, if you actually have a built-up Vigilante, they're going to be doing a lot of the work. I would say to complete this event, 85-90% of the completion is going to be from using Vigilante and just being smart with them. If you obviously have Thunderbolts, Accursed, as well as Fantastic 4 MCU, they're going to make things a lot easier. But I'll show you each of the nodes here of the teams I used and which ones I had to strategize for intentional sacrifice, attack, so that way it can take the enemy damage and you can clean things up with Vigilante. So as you can see, this is the last node here. Haven't finished it up because this allows us the chance here now to go through and show you all of the attempts here for each of the past nodes. And it does take a fair bit of time, guys. I would say, honestly speaking, if you're focused on the game, probably a solid 40-45 minutes of gameplay, especially considering if you're being strategic and trying to manage your cooldowns too, right? So remember, first run gets you the 50 shards, second run also gets you the 50 shards. Maybe in the future there are going to be tying more character releases. At the time of recording anyways, this is related to Swordmaster, in addition to some gold, a little bit of promotional credits, as you can see here, with silver, gold, and the dark promotion as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this party started. So we'll start here with the first node. I think it's right there. Vigilante is the pretty standard, right? Most of these initial nodes here, some of them might take some reattempts if you're finding that your RNG is not doing well, but these first few nodes have promotional bonuses for raid teams, right? So you're going to be thriving more with Thunderbolts and Vigilante. For myself, because I had 3 out of the 5 members already brought up into Age of X, I found more value just using Vigilante because it just thrived better. So you can see right there, Hit Monkey, Silver Sable, and as well as my Daredevil Modern all being gear tier 20, the rest being gear tier 19. Oh, sorry. Skip there. Node 2, same thing. You'll see here, I just used the same team. At Node 3, same team. Node 4, same team as well. So Vigilante really carrying the load, like I said. Now, this is where you might have to deviate a bit because in Mission 5, you're up against an Old Man Logan, and he actually does better performance if you have Elektra on the team. So I chose to opt in my Quasar here in place of her, but you can honestly use any other character, so as long as it's not Elektra, and you should be able to get through that node quite easily. And the good news about all the raid bonuses nodes I just mentioned here is that you don't need to worry about the energy cooldown. Once it pivots and changes over to like Cosmic Crucible and Arena setting, that's where you need to be mindful of that. So far we're so good. Mission 6, back to the normal Vigilante team. Mission 7, same Vigilante team. Mission 8, this is where it got interesting because obviously when you're up against Odin, you need to switch your ISO 8s potentially for more damage. So in this one specifically, I did actually switch my Daredevil Modern back to Striker and then Elektra also as Striker, so that way they could be comboing more attacks, more bleed on the Odin. Once he's taken down, the node's fairly easy. So just something to be mindful of there if you're having issues with that node respectively. Okay, and then Mission 9 is where we start seeing some of the Cosmic Crucible game modes. But like I said, Vigilante still does well. The only thing is that when you're playing this, make sure you're careful with the cooldowns because they're not going to be getting basically that infinite pool of energy that comes with on spawn in addition to when enemies are slain. Just not as significant as the raid bonuses, right? So this still worked here just fine, Mission 9. Mission 10, same thing, Vigilante can get the job done, but just be very, very careful with your attacks and making sure that you're mindful of your cooldown. So, Mission 11, this is where it gets interesting because we're up against an enemy Mephisto, and to be honest, the Vigilante team does have quite a bit of a harder time with this one. So, can you get it done with Vigilante? You can, but you may need to sack. For myself personally, you could do the one-shot here, as you see. 3-piece here of Fantastic 4 MCU plus Quasar and Songbird got the job done. But I will mention though, if you don't have all these characters built up, the key pieces here will be Invisible Woman and Franklin because their big ultimates at the beginning is going to be super impactful. And then you can technically, group them up with some other Vigilante team members to get the job done. But I wouldn't recommend it just because they get more synergies being collectively in that team together, right? So yeah, that's how I would attempt Mission 11. And then, in my opinion, Mission 12 is probably the hardest one if you don't have Accursed. If you have the accursed team for these past few nodes, it's gonna be an absolute cakewalk. But for again, the purpose of this video is you're gonna be mainly using Vigilante here. So had to do a couple things here. I was trying to get the right attacks out. So in this node, anyways, there's a few big ultimate abilities that need to be utilized. I tried an initial attack here, didn't get the job done. So then I just threw in my Fantastic Four MCU team, plus I thought once again Songbird with Quasar, but they still couldn't get the job done, and then Vigilante actually cleaned things up there. So that's what I worked for myself. And again, guys, if you have a curse, you won't have issues, but this one you might need to sack a few times just to get it done. Mission 13, similar story. There's an initial burst of damage here, and keep in mind this is where this now changes over to the arena mission type. So actually what I should have probably done is use my Fantastic Four team, but remember what I mentioned earlier, they already got killed, right? So we just opted to use the Vigilante team here to clean up after we threw in another sack here of my initial attacker, just take some damage. And then yeah, Vigilante team, mission 14, clean up, because like I said, even though it's arena bonuses, they actually can still do well in this event. Same with mission 15. And then as for mission 16, I have done it in the past with both the Fantastic Four MCU and Vigilante. So there you guys have it. Technically speaking, you only really need one good team to get the majority of this done. And remember, these characters do heal after the daily reset, right? And remember, you can do this event twice. If they return this event in the future, it's going to be possible that they tie more characters to these releases. But yeah, this is kind of the rundown, guys. Vigilante is really the key to this event. If you want to just min-max your resource along the way. As you saw, they did 95% of the damage done. And like I said earlier, really the only one that was kind of trickier in my opinion is the mission 11 and mission 12 if you don't have a curse, because you might have to leverage some of the other Harbinger teams that you have. In this case, Fantastic Four would probably be the best in my opinion for investment, just because they have value in arena. And yeah, unfortunately Thunderbolts doesn't really do too much in this game mode, but that's okay. They've had value in raids and you know, obviously with the daily rewards there. So there you have it. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.